One subtraction method that you can use is called breaking apart. We're going to take a look at that in two different ways and how to set it up. The first way is horizontally. So I have a problem written right now, 652 minus 278, and I will be finding that difference. What I'm going to do is I'm first going to recognize that I am not going to do anything to my first number. That must stay the same. The only number I'm going to break apart into pieces is my second number. So I'm going to expand this to 270 and an 8. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to subtract each of those numbers, starting with 652. I do this to make it easier to just take pieces apart instead of the whole 278 away from 652. So 652, take away the hundreds first, minus 200, I can do that in my head, that is 452. Now I will take that 452 and subtract the tens. Now I'm looking at my tens and I see that I have 70. That is going to be tough for me to do in my head. Some of you might be able to do it, but I'm going to show how I'm going to make it even easier for myself. I see that I have 452, so I'm going to take away 50 first. And that will get me close to a landmark number of 402. Now it's a little bit easier for my brain to subtract from that number, and I know that I need to subtract 70 total. I've taken away 50 so far, so I know I need to take away 20 more. So I'm going to take that 402, subtract the 20, and counting back in my head, I know that that will land me at 382. So if you look right here, I'm just going to put little dots around this to show that these are my tens together. The 50 and the 20, I've taken away 70. So I took away my hundreds, I took away my tens, lastly I will take away my ones. So 382. I can take away 8 right away. If that's easy for you in your head, that's fine. Again, I will show you if I want to make it even easier on myself, maybe I'm going to break that 8 up into a 2 to get to 380, and then subtract the 6 more to get to 374. And that is my answer. Once again, I'm just going to put some dots around to show that the 2 and the 6 go together to make the ones. And there we go.
Another way you can do break apart is doing it vertically, going up and down. So when you do it vertically, once again, you're going to keep the first number the exact same. We're not going to change that. So that's going to be 652. What helps for me is to break apart that number. So we know 278 is 278 as well, just like we did for the horizontal way. So the first thing I'm going to break apart will be, I will look at the hundreds place, and I'm going to subtract 200, which is just what we did the horizontal way. It's just looking at it up and down instead of across. So I know that 652, 2 minus 0 is 2, 5 minus 0 is 5, and 6 minus 2 is 4. I have done the hundreds place. So now I'm going to look at the tens, and I have 70. I could subtract minus 70. Once again, that's kind of hard to count backwards. However, if I did do minus 70, you could do 2 minus 0 is 2, 5 minus 7, we can't do that. So we have two options. We can either look at the 45 and figure out what 45 minus 7 is, or we can use our regrouping strategy that we learned previously. So if I have more on the floor, I have to go next door and borrow 10 more. So I would know 15 minus 7 is 8, and 3 minus nothing is 3. So now I've taken care of the tens. Another easy way to do this would have been to break it apart minus 50 and get 402, and then minus 20 more, like Miss Maxfield said, and get 382. I chose to use the regrouping. I now am going to subtract my ones. So I have 382 minus 8. Once again, I could regroup, or I could just count backwards 8 times. So if I have 382, I could go 81, 80, 79, 78, 77, 76, 75, and 74. So I would know 382 minus 8 is 374, which is the same answer that we got horizontal. Please remember, on break apart, you do need to double check your work. So you could double check your work using the traditional method with the regrouping, or you could double check your work using the addition strategy. If we did the addition strategy, to refresh our memory, we have 374 is our answer. Whoopsie. Not 347, let's see, 374. I am going to add my middle number, which is 278, and we hope we will get 652. That way we'll know for sure our answer is correct. So 8 plus 4 is 12. I'm going to regroup that 10. 7 plus 7 is 14, plus 1 is 15. I'm going to regroup that 10. And 3 plus 1 is 4, plus 2 more is 6. So now I've done it break apart style, and I've double checked using addition. So break apart is a great method to use as a double checking if you use the traditional way, or use the break apart as your primary way and double check with either addition or regrouping. Good luck. Break apart